Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs. You are.
Hello and welcome to the Patriot Party News. So happy to have everyone. How are you, Mr. Edward? Nice to see you, brother.
How you doing, sir? Doing great, Warren.
Good, good, good. Always good to see you, man. We're going to miss Bill tonight. He's having some apple juice this evening, so we're going to leave him alone and let him stay over in the chat and rock and roll. That's some good stuff. Are you having a good day today?
Yes, it's been a great day. Got a lot done.
Well,
which is
tell you what, I
important.
hope everybody's having a good day because I want you to know that dominoes are falling. Dominoes are being just flipped over and they're going one after another, brother. It is amazing to watch. And
Yes, sir.
you are watching the destruction of the what they call the hidden hand of the secret society. And in my opinion, the hidden hand has been cut off. And we're watching it right there in the new form of media that people have made because we had no choice. We could not get our views out. We had to fight the cabal who had the airwaves, and a lot of really good people have joined in with groups of like-minded people, just like coalitions have done in the background. I want you to know it is a game changer when good people get together that have first thing the Lord in mind and your fellow man and our country, and what can I do for my country versus what can my country do for me. I tell you what, there's a lot of good people putting a lot of, excellent work in, and we're seeing the fruits of our labors.
Yes, sir. That is very true. And there's a lot of things that are happening. You're talking about dominoes falling. It's even right now, just as you're doing the introduction, I get a news flash from Colombia. Okay. The candidate for the president of Colombia, Adelardo Espriella, had a attempted assassination to him, against him.
Wow.
Well, it turns out that the candidate for president of Colombia has dual citizenship. He's a U.S. citizen.
Wow. I wonder how often that happens.
I don't know.
A lot.
I don't
A
know.
lot.
Well, to be president, no. But the dual citizenship, just look at Congress and the Senate, and you'll see how many have dual citizenship with other countries, with one country. Let's put it that way. But he said, he did, as you were playing the introduction, I was listening to the report. He was stating that he contacted the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. was going to get involved in trying to resolve the situation. Most likely, there will be security for him, in addition to what security he has, if he has any.
Yes,
So,
sir.
That just came up on my feed right now. That's how crazy things are happening.
Yeah, it's wild. And then
You froze.
and we had the a lot lately, and I appreciate that so much. I have short need, and I enjoy going to China. And what has? Am I froze?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, just is what it is. I don't know why I'm froze. It just is what it is. but anyways, we've watched Trump. I'm silly looking. We've watched Trump, go there, and there's no way he could go there without some really special things that have already happened. There's a lot going on in the background. I want everybody to know that truly things are happening and a lot is done. And I keep telling Talk Time, I want you to know you're watching things happen, but a lot of in the background that we're going to wake up and say, oh my goodness, wow, that's pretty serious.
I think one of the most important parts of the visit was that Xi turned around and said, we should be partners instead of rivals. That's very important. Extremely important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big time. Big time. I'm still froze up there. I can't do anything about it. It just is what it is. That's the way my life rolls. You know, with all that going on, and we talk about the Clarity Act, you know, a lot of people thought that, you know, that was just going to be over, but it's still, I think it was sent to it was approved by a committee, I believe, and then goes to the Senate and then back to the House or something like that. So I do think that, you know, within the next 30 days, there's a very good chance that we're going to have clarity because it's time, and I believe it'll be ready to roll out for the Jubilee. And I believe that's got a lot to do with it. And I believe that Trump is over there talking to Xi, and a lot of good things are happening out of that.
Talking about the Clarity Act, Elizabeth Warren made 40 changes to the bill. That was reported, not too long ago. I think it was this morning. Yeah, that's when I read it this morning. Yeah.
Wow.
40
I guess I'm just going to stay froze all day. Now you're froze for me.
Nah, you're not like this.
I can't even see.
Oh, I am froze for you?
Well, for me, everything on my computer is froze. You know, I can still hear me, I guess, but I'm froze.
Yeah, I could hear you clearly.
Well, okay. So, you know, last year, I guess it was last year, they legalized the stable coins. You know, this has been an organic scenario go on. Now they are bringing that out about the Clarity Act. And then over the next few days, you know, we're gonna get some clarity, and it's going to work out. Well, now it's froze a different way. But anyways, there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes. You know, when Tuesday night, when that Air Force One, you know, left for somebody said, I read something that said the Dragon's capital, and I don't know what. Well, yeah, the Dragon's capital. Wednesday morning, then they said the red carpet came out, but Trump is going to that. What's it called? The something of heaven. I can't remember exactly what it was called.
It's the Forbidden
it's supposed
City.
To be a place.
It's in the Forbidden City. He's been there before.
Gotcha.
He was the first president, non-Chinese per se, that went in his first administration. He was the first one to go into the Forbidden City.
Yeah. Well, now supposedly he's gone over there to another place, and I can't. Somebody over here. Oh, Temple of Heaven. That's what it is. So he was at the Forbidden City. He was there. We all saw that happen, and now the Temple of Heaven, and they say that there was a president. I think you were just speaking of that president that went there. It was in '74 or something like that.
No, Donald Trump is the first one to go to the Forbidden City.
Oh yes.
The one that was there.
Forbidden City. I was talking about the Temple of Heaven.
Oh, I don't know. I know the one that used
the one he's going to now is the one he's going to now is called the Temple of Heaven. The one that he went to in the past in that last trip was the Forbidden City. But this place is supposed to be 3 or 4 or 5 times bigger than that. But it's what they used to do. They used to do sacrifices there and things like that. But anyway, some good things are going to come out of that. Is kind of where I'm going with that. That there's going to be talk of the financial system and good things coming out of this, and you're going to hear of talk of gold and money that is off book and that has been being stolen from everyone. But you're also going to hear a bunch about the elders and money that, well, Okier Bill just said it, the elders. You're going to hear a lot about the elders. I mean, a whole lot. And the elders, it doesn't mean they're just in China. They're all over the place. And you'll hear a big story about it for people that don't know who we're talking about. I can't wait till everybody's kind of in on good news that's coming.
Going to have to go down the rabbit hole.
What about Tina Peters? What about Tina Peters? So Colorado Governor Jared Polis, has commuted the sentence of Tina Peters, ordering that she be released from prison on June 1st. The former Mesa County clerk had been sentenced to 9 years in prison. Polis in January had said that he was considering clemency for Peters. There's been a whole lot going on in the background. It's something that I get messages on most days about things going on. Now I have the people that, Apollo and Peter Tickton, and of course Juan is always talking about her and keep making sure she stays in the news so that she's fresh on her mind. Because remember, Trump said Tina Peters is going to be known as a hero, and I can't wait to see her.
Very true.
Can't wait to see her. Well, what do you come up with today? Anything big that you think people need to know about? Or?
Oh my God, there's so many things going on right now that it's incredible. Okay. The president said Cuba was next, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go there. It was reported that Marco Rubio is sending U.S. aid of $100 million to Cuba. Right? But can't tell you there's conditions that have to be met. While Trump and his entourage were in China, he sent Ratcliffe to Cuba. Now, that was the first since 2016 that a U.S. aircraft landed outside of Guantanamo Bay in Cuba at the airport in Havana. Well, it was the Ratcliffe, the CIA director, who met with intel officials, and he brought the ultimatum to Cuba. You need to change, or you're going to see it worse. Now, I don't know how they're going to see it worse, but they're going to see it worse. But there were some conditions that Cuba needs to meet, and he met with Raulito Rodriguez Castro, which is the grandson of Raul Castro, the Interior Minister Lazarco Alvarez Casas, and the head of Cuban intelligence. Just imagine the situation right there, that you got the director of the CIA and the director of Cuban intelligence sitting across from each other. That has to be a sight. I could bet you that the looks were sending knives to each other back and forth,
Yes.
Type deal. They're asking for intel cooperation. These are the demands, the ultimatum. Economic stability and security issues. Cuba can no longer be a safe haven for adversary in the Western Hemisphere. Now, this statement is directed to Russia, China, Iran, and other hostile powers. So it's that was one of the things that was said. Well, the grandson, Raulito Rodriguez, the grandson of Raul Castro, is looking to make a deal with the DOJ to give up Raul, his grandfather, for immunity.
Wow. He getting serious, isn't he?
Oh yeah, there's no what do you call that?
Love
Honor
laws.
amongst thieves.
Honor. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then, on the other hand, remember I mentioned yesterday when we were doing TAP that one of the main or one of the strongholds that Trump had to negotiate with Xi Jinping
Yes, sir.
was that they discovered that large, heavy, rare minerals in Greenland.
Greenland. Yes, sir.
So I had to dig deep today, but it's called Tambreez. And like I had mentioned yesterday, the U.S. is going to fully finance the operation, right? And the other thing that the military bases were going to be built, and they had mentioned 3, but today when I went back and looked at it, they said only 1. But I'm most likely it's going to be more than 1 because there's already an air base in Tooling, Greenland. Greenland. Wow,
Okay.
I'm having a hard time speaking today.
You would have some apple juice. You
I must have some.
would don't keep Billy to kick it.
There's an Air Force base in Tooling, Greenland. So this must be another Army Marine base, whatever, that probably 10th Mountain or a company or a battalion from Alaska that's going to be part of it to protect it. Then let's bring it back to the United States. These data centers, okay? Wow. This is coming from the Daily Caller in Atlanta. Blackstone-owned data center drained 29 million gallons of water
Wow.
from Atlanta suburbia without the local utilities knowing about it.
Wow.
That's a lot of, and it's called Project Excalibur, and it's located in Fayetteville, and it's the size is 615 acres.
Wow. Wow. It's a
Yeah,
lot. There's
that's
some people upset about that water. I'm gonna tell you.
everybody's upset about it. Right here in El Paso, they're calling for people are going out every time that they have a hometown meeting. People are going out that they want to stop. We don't have the water.
Wow.
We don't have the water to support something that's going to suck up 1.3 million gallons a day. You know, that's going to suck up. You know, what was it? Lake Tahoe, I think it was. That they're not going to receive any electricity from from their company over there because all of it is going to go to the data center. What bull is that? That is not right.
Sounds like they're going to have to get rid of some dams to move some water around.
Well, even if you get rid of the dams, there hasn't been enough snow to backfill. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because we're hurting we get our water from Colorado
Yes,
down
sir.
the Rio Grande.
Okay.
Colorado this past winter didn't have enough snow, and everybody is hurting. I saw a video from this lady that was reporting from Elephant Butte. Last week she was there at what's called Rock Point. She went back today, and it has dropped 10 feet in a week.
Wow.
Everybody's hurting for the water.
Big time.
These guys want to suck up water like that?
And California's been doing it forever. And why are all these people trying to get water rights of so much, of so much land,
Yeah, for fish, to save a little fish. You know, you could
Right.
divert part of it away to the fish, enough for them, for the rest, so there could be farmland. Okay,
Yeah.
that's enough. All right. Things in Mexico are going berserko.
Cray.
They're going
right.
berserko. It's
Berserko.
incredible. I mean,
Berserko.
I was reading this article of the ex-secretary of security for the state of Sinaloa.
Okay.
Right? His name is Merida Sanchez. Now, this guy has an extensive military background to the point where he was also, according to the report, he has a doctorate in security, military security. No,
Okay.
military intelligence, sorry. He used to train. He used to be the head of the Military Intelligence Academy in Mexico. Okay? He turned himself in
Wow.
to the U.S.
So he
And
doesn't want it
supposedly
anymore.
he took a trip to Disney World and turned himself into the FBI.
Wow. Wow.
Now it gets crazier. Okay. When the indictments came down, there was Moya, which was the ex-governor or the governor of Sinaloa, and 9 more. Okay. This guy Sanchez was the first one to turn himself in. And I hadn't even finished writing the information down when another report from the guy by the name of Conde, reporter, comes out and says that a second one turned himself in to the
Wow.
U.S. He came across. He didn't make mention it to where he came across, but he came across and turned himself into the FBI. Now,
Wow.
this guy was, his name, where is he? Jeez. Oh, Enrique Diaz. And he was, this is a good one. He was the ex-secretary of finance for the state of Sinaloa.
You've been
Boom.
saying this is going to happen. This exact.
Yeah.
You've been
They're
saying
coming.
it's going to happen.
And they're falling one by one. Now the question has been thrown out there as to why all these people are slowly turning themselves into Mexico. Now, Claudia Sheinbaum is saying that all these people that the U.S. has accused, they're innocent. That the their equivalent of Department of Justice is saying that they have to do their own investigation into all of this, to the charges that the U.S. is bringing out, right?
Yes.
But the president's saying that, oh man, these are Boy Scouts, okay? These are good guys. It never happened.
Hmm.
Well, the reason that they're turning themselves in, because one, they're going to wind up being the scapegoat of all of this, of the connection between the cartels and the government. They could wind up being the fall guy for it,
Wow.
or they're going to get killed.
Wow.
So they feel that they're safer over here in the United States than back in Mexico. The vice admiral that was charged, that came up on the Huachicol Fiscal, the stealing of oil that's been sold back and forth illegally, he's in Argentina. And he doesn't want to be extradited back to Mexico because he knows that he's going to be unalived, right? He's scared of that. The other two, only one of the nephews of Lopez Obrador is in custody. The other one was arrested under what do you call that? Shoot, I have it right here. Can't say it. An international warrant.
Okay.
He was picked up. The other one's still in Mexico. So they're blaming those two for the stealing of oil.
That's where they
So-
were smuggling the petroleum through like U.S. customs stuff. Is that you were
Right,
talking about that the other
by
night?
changing the manifest to
Yes, sir.
show there was spent or used machining oil on the thing.
Is
on
he the
the
same one
manifest.
that owned that 33,000 square foot mansion?
That was the Jensen family in Utah
Okay, yes, sir.
that also had a location for the trucks to come in and out from Mexico in the valley.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Where do you go to get your information there? Do you is it, I mean, because I can't find a lot of the stuff that you find when it comes to Mexico and Cuba and stuff. I'm looking, but I can't quite find it like you can.
Well, majority of the stuff that I'm getting, and you know, I don't bring anything up unless I could have 2 or 3 people saying
Yes,
the
sir.
same thing, you know,
Yes, sir.
but you know, try to verify the information. But it's all in Spanish.
Okay.
It's all
That's-
from the
okay.
truthers that from down south. They're out there putting it out, you know, big time. You know,
That is such an advantage. That is wonderful. I'm glad you're able to do that because I'd look at Spanish and I'd just say, well, I don't know what that says. Bye, and nobody's saying it in English, so what's that all about?
no, but it's
But everything you say ends up coming. I mean, just pretty quick after that ends up being fact.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. You know, and
Yes.
it's they are the ones that are that are bringing up all this information, and they give narratives on their theories of what they think it's going to happen next. You know,
Yes.
I don't mention none of those until I could be able to verify, you know, that somebody else is saying something similar to what they're saying. But there's a lot of newspaper people, like I was telling you yesterday, there's a news reporter that's right now in Washington spilling the beans on everything on the Morena party.
Right.
Okay. So all of those are multiple sources that are providing the same information, because guess what? Nobody's saying it. And then there was another one that saw that early this morning. There was a group of indigenous people from Mexico that were requesting from Trump help to send the troops down to help them because of the cartels are moving in and taking over and killing people and hurting people. And
Yeah.
you know, it's wild. It's getting crazy.
Because you had said whole families are just getting up and just
Oh yeah, the whole
relocating.
yes, and they're putting it on video and putting on in the internet, and you would just hear the whole narrative of, you know, well, there the one from Montargo, what is it? I can't remember. I have my notes here. Hold on.
Who is it you're talking about?
Say again?
Who is it you're talking about? What's the
I'm
name?
talking. I'm trying to Montalvo, Hidalgo, something like that, from Mexico, a town that people are just bumping,
Oh.
putting their stuff in the back of the truck and packing whatever they can and heading north to Chihuahua, which is the next state that is next to us right here.
So it's not just going from like county to county. It's going from where they are to a whole nother world type thing, a whole nother state. Wow. That's think about having to do that. Goodness gracious, just get up where probably ancestors and, the whole families just, okay, bye.
Yeah. Well, the one with the natives, it's in Durango. And Durango is the state further south from Chihuahua. It connects with the U.S., but it's the next one over. So it's all over the place. People are getting tired and scared of all the crazy things that are happening, and they don't want any more part of it. And the government is not doing anything because they're part of it.
Scared for their family. That's
Yeah.
that would make a man get up and think about a man, the man of the house and the wife, whoever's making the decision with the family, just saying, okay, we've got to leave, or there's a very good chance we're going to die in the place that we've been living forever.
Yep. And the majority of these people are farmers.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Small time farmers. And I'm not talking about, a lot of land, but there's small farmers that could grow enough food, not only for them, but also to sell in the market and maintain themselves,
Yes, sir.
So that's who is being affected a lot. And that's the crazy thing about it. And like I said, the government is not doing anything. As a matter of fact, the government is screwing them over because they promised, the farmers that they were going to pay a certain amount for a bushel of beans, and they want 2/3 under the price that they quoted them. Screwing it over, just getting screwed left and right.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's I hope the best for them. I mean, what do you say? And what's the final outlook? We don't know yet. They're gone, and everybody's having to leave certain areas. And is this in that little buffer zone with the border and 30? Right, it's all over the place, huh? Wow.
Yes, it's further inland.
Oh,
It's
okay.
And I don't think these guys from the cartel will come that close, other
Yes, sir.
than doing their transport, following their routes to, their delivery routes for the drugs and stuff.
Yeah, because we had said that they were going to be moved 30 miles, past, on the other side of the border. They're going to be, pushed back. But
Well,
I think we
right
were coming
now-
in from the back way too.
But right now, it's kind of like saying the 30 mile, they call it the 38 parallel, or 38 kilometers.
Okay.
It used to be closer to the border. Now they extend it back. And I'm talking about Mexico, not the U.S. I'm talking
Yes, sir.
about Mexico. In particular here in Juarez. They move it back because the city has grown so much. There's more people in Mexico, in Juarez, than there here in El Paso. Okay. So they moved it out to the 38. And I think that's what they're talking about. But that's a lot of land. 30 miles, it's a big territory to try to control.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all we do is pray for the good people over there, because we're not fighting the people, of any of these countries. We are fighting the cabal that is doing the dirt, the nasty cartels and the mafia type scenarios, the ones we call hidden hands, secret societies, that are all doing the work of the British Royal Empire. It's all connected.
Well, I was listening to this guy who was giving a lecture, and he was talking about Spain.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That once the Spain came into the New World, us over here, and all the silver that they found, and they were going back and forth. Well, they started minting the first coin. It was the peso del ocho, something like that. It was first coin of silver. And that became the fiat currency for 400 years back then.
Wow.
We talk about the dollar as the fiat currency.
Yes,
But
sir.
back then, Spain created the commerce,
Yes.
maritime from Europe to the to the New World, and from China to the New World.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
he was saying that Acapulco in Mexico was one of the richest cities in the New World.
Yeah.
And because of all the silk trade and everything, spices that was coming from China this way, and everybody who went to do business anywhere in the world would buy the Spanish coin because that was the only one that's being accepted.
Right.
Now, when they had their fight with the British, that the Spanish went down, that whole thing changed. And we're looking at the same thing with the fiat dollar happening again.
Yes, sir.
You
Right
know,
in front of our face.
exactly.
Well, that's kind of like, what was it? Eric Trump was like, he said that the SWIFT is finished and blockchain will replace it with instant, I guess he said something like 24/7 settlements on your phone. He had talked about, there's times, Eric Trump said, there's times on the weekends we're working, we're doing this thing. And he was like, the SWIFT system is outdated, it's antiquated. And then there was another one where he said, this is why Russia just launched the XRP index the same day, supposedly, that the Clarity Act voting was done, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh, really?
that's, this last, just the other day, when it was supposedly passing the committee or whatever, and then all of a sudden Trump goes to China and becomes kind of like economic partners, is what this article said. Post article, whatever. But then they were talking about how JP Morgan and Ripple had already executed their first ever like crypto transaction that connected XRP, the XRP ledger, if I'm not mistaken, to and I think he called it interbank settlement. Now, yeah, so it's happening. It's happening just like everybody's been saying. It's big.
Isn't it supposed to be within seconds that the transaction would be
Yes, sir.
completed?
3 seconds.
Because you do a transaction now, and guess what? It takes a week for you before you could touch your money. I know. Every month I go through the same thing. I get notification and it tell me that notification will be a week before I could touch that money.
Right.
And why does it take so long?
They are using your money to make that money. As long as they can keep that in there, if you put $2,000, well, let's say $1,000 in there, then they can loan out 10,000.
Okay, they reinvest it in something else and hopefully on a short and get that money back to do.
They get to make it up on a computer. They get to just do it out of thin air. Yep. So yeah, it's inflation cray time is what it is during with the SWIFT system. So now another thing I saw that was neat is how see if I can get this here. 2020 election hero Sidney Powell reportedly is the front runner to become the next U.S. Attorney General.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, they don't want none of her. She will wear that head out. Sources close to President Trump are revealing that he is reportedly seriously considering appointing Sidney Powell, the American who single-handedly exposed the massive voter fraud that occurred in the stolen 2020 election, to be the next Attorney General of the United States. He is said to have grown fed up with the current acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Now, you probably won't see that, and that might not even be. I can't remember who put this out, but it was given to me by a pretty good source. I just know that there's a lot happening And a lot of the people that have been in Trump's cabinet are ones that he could get, the Congress to pass, to get them in place. Are they place setters? I don't know, but you got to go with something. And was Pam Bondi that? And she was doing her job with the grand jury in Florida, 2 of them. Was Todd Blanche doing what he's doing, getting some things going? And does he have another place, or is he going to stay there? We won't know until it happens, because any article that you read could be good information, bad information, because we get fooled along with our opponents, So remember that, and give some grace, but also at the same time, I'd say it's a good time to be as thorough as you can. Now, another thing that came out was supposedly Dan Bongino had John Solomon on his show, and they supposedly revealed or unveiled evidence that the foreign powers that meddled in the 2020 election, which we always said the first thing that's going to happen, we're going to see organically happen, is the election, any election integrity, anyone that messed with the election in a big bowl, they're all going to get thrown in, and it's going to be a RICO type thing. Anyone that went after Trump and his family, anyone that went after Flynn and his family, and a few other things. But it said, let's see, Trump will soon unveil evidence that foreign powers meddled in the 2020 election, which will result in John Thune ultimately caving on the filibuster, and the Save America Act will get passed. So we're talking about that Save America Act. In the background, I've heard that, hey, the Save America Act gets done or it doesn't. We're okay either way, but we want it to happen, and it will happen eventually, but things are steadily going forward. This person said, I think Donald Trump is going to change the narrative in America. I think he is going to change some senators' minds. He's going to start revealing some of the intelligence that was kept from the American people. And we're seeing that right now by him reposting things or retruthing things. I guess that's what you call it. But look for that stuff. If you want to see throughout the day what Trump's thinking, he is retruthing all kinds of stuff. And it is a pleasure to see.
I read something earlier today, and I know one of the agreements between Xi and Trump is that they're going to, he gave Trump the names of those politicians and military members that were going behind him and contacting the CCP and telling them, no, Trump is unstable, he's a danger, deal with us with foreign affairs and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, Trump's name came in there.
Yes, sir. 100%. There is, let's see, I got it right here. I was looking at that earlier, where supposedly Chinese President Xi reveals to President Trump a list of Democrat politicians, woke generals, who told him to ignore what Trump says. Go through them for all foreign policy matters in secret in back channels. In his high stakes overseas trip to China, President Trump has reportedly worked out a deal to establish friendlier relations with Chinese President Xi and his country, wherein Xi is said to have given up a massive list of top U.S. politicians and generals who have been betraying our country by undermining the foreign policy of the Trump administration with China in exchange for our president agreeing to ease economic sanctions on the communist country. Democrat Senators Mark Kelly of Arizona, Alicia Slotkin of Michigan, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, former woke General Miley Mathis, and John Kelly from President Trump's first term in office are said to be key players on this treasonous list, allegedly telling their counterparts in the Chinese government to effectively ignore the U.S. commander in chief and his administration, and to instead negotiate all U.S. China policy matters with them through top secret back channels. And these are the channels that we were talking about today in Talk Time, or when it was last night, maybe, where you had Obama, who was running a shadow government right there in Washington. You had Brennan, who was running a shadow CIA government behind the scenes running that thing, and Comey, who was doing it with the FBI, and all their little cohorts that are assisting and really just separate arms of the cabal, all working together to work for China, which in turn works for the City of London.
And don't go too far, and don't forget about Garland that was in there as the Attorney General. But you know, the other thing is that you have to look at the fact that I've heard the rumors. I don't know if it was from you, but from other people too, saying that people are dragging their feet in order to get things done. You know, that is common.
Yeah.
Because they don't, not that they're technically they're protecting their party, because that's why they're dragging their feet, and they're hoping that they could drag it and not make it happen until after the election and that particular person is out of power, right?
Yes,
and that happens all the time. We know it. It happens all the time. You know, it's just like what we were talking about earlier today about the cases, how the cases go. You know,
explain that. That's a great example. I love the way you explained that.
Okay, let's put it this way. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of it.
And just so everybody knows, there's a lot of people that say, why hasn't this happened yet? You know, we all have to remember how long Trump has been in there. You know, has it, you know, it's not a long time still for, you know, for his praise. He's got a long time in there. But a lot of people are, you know, why isn't it happening? A lot of people making noise about it. But anyways, go ahead. This is what he was kind of talking about.
Okay, if we, you know, a lot of the people are saying that, well, he had the first administration, his first administration to do it. Well, guess what? During his first administration, he had COVID, he had all the impeachments and so on, and the arrests and so on, you know, take the mugshot, boom, you know, type deal. Had all that. He had a lot of distractions to deal with it, you know. His DOJ was not on his side. Because I can't remember who is no, it was Comey. You know, yeah, what am I saying? They once they get into the director of FBI, it's for 10 years. What am I talking about? Okay. It was Comey. Okay. Guess what? Well, he didn't like. Well, okay. Now let's go forward. Well, after the elections, whatever was in the oven per se was taken out and thrown away. That's why they were finding all those burn bags that never got burned, right, by the FBI. That's what Bongino and Kash Patel talk about, that they found all those burn bags. Okay. Well, let's come forward. Okay. Now, all that stuff is being put together. So you have a defendant, somebody that you're investigating. Okay. So in order to indict somebody or to arrest somebody, you have to have probable cause. That's the law.
Yes, sir.
So what is probable cause? That some crime has been committed. Now, in order to present that to the grand jury, it has to be in chronological order, and all facts need to be fact-checked before you go forward. All the I's need to be dotted, all the T's need to be crossed. Okay, everything. All right, while you're doing the investigation on subject X, somebody else comes in, subject Z comes in and tells you, because he's involved with this X guy, but he's giving you more information that corroborates what X is giving you, but also brings other defendants into the case. Now it starts growing and it starts building. It's just like if you look at somebody's phone, right? And you look at you see him calling X, Y, Z, A, B, D. all those people could be involved in that particular crime
Yes.
or in that. So everything needs to be in chronological order to be presented to the grand jury before. So it could be have a bill or no bill. A no bill is that there's no indictment.
Okay.
A bill means that somebody got indicted.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you, like I was saying, you have this alphabet of people, okay, that becomes a RICO case, and there's no statute of limitations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the crap that there was being said, that yesterday, the 13th or the 14th, whenever, it's the statute of limitation for Fauci. No, Bob, he falls under RICO case with the major pharmaceuticals, but also falls under the Nuremberg trials.
Yep. Crimes against humanity.
Exactly. So if he goes in front of the Nuremberg trials, that is either life or death. That's it. Okay.
Amen. Amen.
So let's go back. So once there's a bill that somebody is indicted, now it goes up to a judge. The judge execute a arrest warrant. That person is brought in front of a judge for arraignment. He has to have a lawyer there, and he's going to say he's either guilty or not guilty. Most likely, these people are going to say not guilty.
Right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So after that, a trial date is set.
Maybe for way down there.
Exactly. Is it going to be tomorrow?
No, sir.
No. Because you have to give, under our current judicial system, you have to give time for the defense to prepare itself against the crimes that they're defending as being accused.
Yes, sir.
So you can't, if you got so many people and you're putting this humongous case together, I bet you that thing is about that high.
Yeah.
Of all the names, all the crimes, associations, Bob, when, whatever, it's going to take a while.
I mean, with what you're talking about, yes, it's going to take a while. Just think of it as just a simple DUI.
Yeah.
Anybody ever has had a DUI? Luckily, I've never had one. I've been lucky, but been good, whatever. But Mama, sorry if you're watching. But anyways, that can be drug out for years.
Yes.
That's
a simple case. Well, even traffic court.
Yes, sir.
You get a ticket, and on the ticket it tells you the date that you have to show up for the court, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it tomorrow?
No, sir.
Is it next week? No,
sir.
It's usually about 45 days after.
At least.
So you can't say that, hey, we're being lied to. You're not being lied to. Is that things have not come up. And there's so many.
Not right.
And there's so many things happening at the same time. And besides, you don't have the security clearance to be told anyway.
Yeah. Amen. Especially, we're talking about, think about all the things that we probably have cases on, whether it be stuff about mainstream media, big pharma, the things with children, adrenochrome, freaking Wuhan, COVID-19. It goes on and on and on and on. And so right now, that is why for a long time, they have been working on whoever went after Trump, all right, and his family and did this. That's a coup, all right. Russia stuff, getting anybody mess with the elections, foreign interference into it, anybody mess with Trump, with Flynn and his family. And that's what we're doing. We got it. It's done. Got it all done. We're good. We're good. It's just when is that going to come out? Well, whenever they decide is what it amounts to. And I hope it's soon. But and I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some really good appetizers come up and get taken down in the next 30 to 45 days. And I would not be surprised if somewhere around come September, October, give it a month either way. Goodbye to some really big names. And I think the appetizers are going to be really big names. Plus, we're going through a jubilee. So everything, if you've been watching this and fighting it, however you're fighting it for 2 years or 5 years or 50 years, it's all happening right now. Yeah. We're there.
And you have to remember 2 cases here in recent time. That's the first Comey case, right?
Yes.
That it was kicked out, right? So that was one. And then the Letitia James, that they went too fast and it was kicked out too.
Right.
So, and if I'm not mistaken, they were dismissed under prejudice, that you cannot bring those charges up again. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But if they were dismissed under prejudice, that means that they can't bring those charges again against those people.
Gotcha. It's all right, because there's going to be enough to go around.
Oh, let's hope so.
We're in good shape. Edward, thanks so much. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And
it was fun.
Yeah,
let's do it again.
All right. Sounds good. Because I'll probably drive you crazy when Matt can't make it on at 6 o'clock. I'm like, would y'all like to come see it? And y'all help me out, and I appreciate it, and I love it.
I understand. It's kind of hard to do a 1 hour monologue, by yourself, and I'm more willing to help if I can.
You do a lot, and I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you.
You too. Be safe.
Time.
And have some apple juice.
All right, I might do that. I might join Oath Keeper Bill.
You got it.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining. We appreciate it. BabbleBox/Mandy's got stuff up there. Join.patriotshoot.com. That's where you come and hang out with us, and we are interested in getting you the best information we can, using your information, maybe getting you involved in whatever way you want to be involved in, and being around some like-minded people. One big thing that's going on now that I've seen throughout this operation is when good people from either different coalitions, different groups get together in harmony and work together, more things can happen. New avenues kind of show their faces, and everybody gets on the same page and has the same information to vet as you feel necessary. Because you can hear anything from anybody, and you get to decide whether that is for you or not for you. It's okay, because there's a lot of things that this is a hard scenario. It's hard to say, oh, all this is right. We are working at it. We're working at it hard. Not just us, a lot of people are working at it to get the best information. And there's this need down in us, we got to get this stuff. We're literally fighting for our lives and our sovereignty. And I think it's probably a good thing to be like a soldier in God's army, and give him the glory on every win. Because he's the one, I believe, that makes it happen. He knows when this is going to be more out in front of everyone. He knows when it's going to be over. He knows when, we'll experience good things and jubilees and things like that. So go to him. Ask him. If you do, tell him I said, what's up? That's funny. I'm going to stay on the Lord's team. He's a good one. And you do the same. If you don't have a good relationship with the Lord, you might want to check it out. It's worth checking out. I'm telling you right now. Thanks for joining. Come hang out with us. Join.patriot.com. Have a good evening, good weekend, and bye.